subscribe. CVA, what? It does have 2 sling posts. Fudge ripple. Practicality score just got bumped up a half, guys. I don't know how I didn't see that. That's embarrassing. Welcome back to Mud Lake Ranch. Today we're here with the CVA Cascade chambered in 22-250, making this the ultimate varmint getter. The 22-250 is best known for its ability to take down critters such as coyotes, and is widely known as the deadliest cartridge the coyote has ever faced. Now, 22-250 comes in grains ranging from around 40 to around 60, with 55 being the most common. And you can push 70, 80 grains maybe. This rifle was sent to us by CVA for review on this channel, so thank you to CVA. Up top, we have a DNT ThermNight optic. This is daytime use, nighttime use, thermal. This optic is special in that it features thermal and night vision, can be used day or night for all sorts of hunting applications. And we'll get into this in a different review. I'll link that in the description once it's finally up. And it found its home on the 22-250 by CVA because I want this to be the new varmint getter daytime or nighttime on the ranch. Now, 22-250 is capable of taking down deer, and it's often used for that, but I would prefer a larger cartridge. But if you're just getting into it, maybe for the lighter recoil, flat shooting, the bullet screams out of a 22-250 at around 3,600 to 4,000 feet per second. That's very fast and very small projectile screaming across the landscape, taking out coyotes at up to 500 yards. The CVA Cascade features a crush zone butt pad here at the rear. It features a graphite black Cerakote on the barrel and the receiver, and is topped with a Picatinny rail. The trigger is a crisp trigger that is adjustable, and I'm not sure on the poundage. The website actually doesn't indicate it, but we will test where it's sitting currently. If they're advertising it as crisp, I'm imagining that it is. CVA has not disappointed. The barrel is a 1 in 12 twist and features a 5/8 by 28 threaded end, so you can run a suppressor or a muzzle device if you choose. The barrel is 22 inches in length, and the buttstock features a removable length of pull plate here, so you can cut through your finish and remove about a 1-inch area of material there to make this shortened up for a youth or shorter armed T-Rex hunter like myself. Let's see how this fits. Oh my lord, this barrel, by the way, this fits me very nice. The barrel is extremely heavy. They didn't advertise it as a heavy barrel, but this is what I would consider a bull barrel. It is thick, it's heavy, and very front heavy, and my arm's getting tired holding on to this thing, and I thought the weight would be all back here from this optic. Got 2 sling posts, a detachable box magazine. It says it's 4 round, but I'm guessing it's 3+1. And sponsoring the ammo for today's video is Remington. They sent along the Remington Core Locked, and this is 55 grain pointed soft point ammo, perfect for all hunting applications. The bolt features a very short throw, and I'm guessing that this is around maybe 50 degrees, 60 degree bolt throw maybe. I like the oversized knob, and it operates smoothly. I like that. And it also has a loaded chamber indicator or a cycled chamber indicator here, so that if that is visible, either you have a round in the chamber or you have fully cycled the gun. This gun is empty, pointed in a safe direction. You pull the trigger, that disappears. So at that point, you know you've fired, you know you've not cycled, and your gun is safe to carry and operate. You cannot return it to safe until you partially cock the bolt. So now it's on safe. Nothing is in the chamber, but the loaded chamber indicator or cock chamber indicator does reappear. Fully cycle the bolt, and the chamber indicator is no longer visible. To remove the bolt, simply depress the bolt release on the side of the firearm. For cleaning and operation, that removed very easily, and that is a nice looking bolt. If you're interested in how to clean your bolt action rifle, most are very similar, and I'll leave a link in the description to a video on how to clean a bolt action that resembles this one, but once you remove the bolt, all you have to worry about is the size of your bore brush and the pinch position of your patch if you're using the Otis cleaning system. Otherwise, just use the appropriate jag and rod. All right, let's get shooting this gun. Unlike your traditional rifle scopes, this being a thermal, you have to turn it on. And unlike your traditional rifle scopes, your adjustments are different. There is an adjustment on the front for your focus. The adjustments for your sights are electronic. So it says picture in picture as well. So you can have a daylight view plus a thermal view, or you can have a thermal view picture in picture with a night vision view. But when you're electronically sighting this in, you shoot where it hits. If you don't move your gun, which will come in handy if I use the tripod or bipod over there, tripod. If I use the tripod over there and am able to lock the gun in, where the bullet hits, you simply move the crosshairs to where it hit, and you're one shot and you're darn near perfect accuracy. With the bag, not so much, because it wiggles a bit and it's harder to control. So I'm going to shoot a couple here just for fun, talk about the gun a bit, and I'm going to go get it actually sighted in. CVA praises this gun as an exceptional entry-level gun, or basically a budget gun built for performance, or a budget gun built for performance. The gun rings in at $800-ish to $900-ish at the time of filming. That's MSRP, so you can definitely get it for less than that. We do not sell guns here. Disclaimer, I am not a gun dealer, just a gun reviewer. Some of the things, I guess, that might be considered the budget options is it's, even though it is beautifully Cerakoted, beautifully OD green, it does lack some of the features that you might expect from an expensive rifle, such as adjustable comb, maybe a different type of stock or coating. This is a rubberized synthetic stock, which I find awesome, great for hunting, especially if you're out beating it around chasing coyotes on snowmobiles or something. Cerakote's a great option for all weather, and I don't see any serious corners cut with it. It looks basic, but I think it is elevated basic above basic, being it comes in the color options, and I haven't pulled the trigger yet. They indicate that it's a crisp trigger, so I expect excellence out of this gun. So I did sight this in a little and quickly, so let's see how we do. Okay. Oh, I didn't put one in yet. It is a 4+1, by the way. 4 fit in the mag. This rubberized eye cup is meant to eliminate any light emitting when you're shooting at dark. So you're supposed to be right up against it. I'm going to shoot at the top right first. This picture in picture is kind of neat. The top picture is actually zoomed in. We'll see how I did with those 2 shots. Make sure they're on paper. Then I'll get the vise out and we will get this thing dialed right in, and then we'll hit some steel with it and give you our final thoughts after a little bit more shooting. I was worried for a moment that I didn't hit it, but they both are half an inch we are at 75, 80 yards right here. So I need to bring it down 1, 2, 3 and over, but what we really do is move the crosshair. We put the crosshair here and move it to there, and then we should be good. That trigger is crisp. That was a little different than I had expected. It's really need a stationary rest to do this sight in. So I'm gonna pick a new target. I'm gonna probably pick one that's I'll go to the one lower, so we have a little more room to work with in case I screwed it up. I really need to figure out how to use the magnification on this. Hence why I haven't done a review on it yet. I have not actually figured out all the cool stuff in this optic to do the review, because it's slightly complicated and I haven't had time to get into it, but I'm gonna go check those. I picked a bad day to wear sandals. It's rained for hours. All right, similar result, about a 1/2 inch, but I am 2 inches high. And on the vertical, they're equally spaced, so gotta bring her down a little bit. I figured out how to zoom in. Zooming in on a digital scope pixelates it quite a bit, but I'm trying to zoom in on a 4-inch dot. And I think I've got the sight in figured out now. I accidentally long pressed the wrong button and deleted my settings, so we should be good now. I'm gonna pick a square and see what happens. Actually, I'm gonna use the same square. That way we have more dots to work with. I think I'm right at the ring of the bullseye top, but I gotta walk out and check and get my socks wet again. All right, those two are 1 inch right, 1/2 inch down. Do I want to admit when I'm wrong or not? Okay. My inability to watch instructions first has got me again. Wasted a couple bullets. We got close. I watched a video from DNT on how to zero this thing, which I should have watched before. Super easy. Once you have the zeroing setting open, you simply short press the power button and it freezes your screen so that you can easily move the reticle to your point of impact. And here I was trying to stabilize, zoomed in, and which is virtually impossible on either one of these setups, and probably even on a stationary bag. So I think we're going to be zeroed in one shot, like I said, now that I actually watched the instructions. We are on safe. Going to be entering our zeroing mode again. Try that again. When I push the button, I push the gun forward. Right, we are in zeroing. Okay, now I know where I'm at. Settings. Shit, well, I'm top corner there, whatever. Be best if I can get a nice, perfect one. Okay, you have a lot to edit out there, Jared. Whew. We're gonna go for the bottom target. I think we are good. Oh shit. Whatever. They might be in the same freaking hole. Jared needs a break. I think these are the shots. Should have found something exciting to shoot at down there. That was all you. He pulled it. All right. Steel? Very confident with those last shots. Let's say I'm looking at the back of the target. Uh-oh. Steel at 150. No problem. All right, we got this thing sighted in now. I'll show you those last 5 shots, whatever it was. Took me a little while to figure out how to use this optic, but now that I have, it's fantastic. Also learned how to turn off, have it go to sleep when I'm not using it, which it has rechargeable batteries, but I've left it. It was dead before I did this video and I had to switch them. Coming up, my final thoughts on the CVA Cascade in 22-250. These were the final shots. Why am I walking? These are the two I adjusted off of to come up a whisker. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's just Jared windage, I guess. All right, coming in hot with the trigger pull. It is empty. Got the Wheeler trigger gauge here, is zeroed. Let's see if we can get this thing to pop. 1 pound, 15 ounces, 15.8, so it's just about 2 pounds in that reading. Enter that. £1 13.3 ounces on that reading. Enter that one. Try to get it right in the center. 2 pounds 4 ounces on that reading. £2 4 ounces on that reading. So we're talking 2 pound trigger. This tripod and gun mount are from Sunway Photo. This is a carbon fiber tripod and it has a precision adjustment here. It has a ball and socket that allows you to really fine tune where you're aiming, and it offers a stable rest. You can also have it a little bit loose so you can move it to target. This should be pretty close because I didn't move it, did I? All right, we're almost there. Where did it go? Okay. I didn't like the last group, so barrel's getting a little warm. So I'm going to shoot one last one. I noticed the top left target, which I shot at first, I never revisited, and that one didn't get hit. Those first 2 shots were high. So let's give it one last group, and then we'll give you our final thoughts for real this time. I have a really hard time getting my eye close to this. I don't like doing it. I feel like I'm thinking too much. I try really hard when I can see the zoomed in thing and it moves like microscopically. The last shot I did zoomed out so we can see how this actually does down there. And all right, final thoughts on the CVA Cascade in 22-250. My final shots. Woo, right there. Bingo bango. Both of those in the bullseye. And there's one down there just a little bit outside. So I got one literally 1 inch from center. So 2 in the center, 1 diagonally 1 inch from center. Happy with that. But we'll get into the accuracy and the second thing we talk about. First up, get the headphones off. I don't need the hearing protection any longer. Ear Pro by Otis, that's ear shield. They're fantastic for all day wear, and I barely noticed they were on because they have the gel cups that mold around the glasses. Anyway, back to the CVA Cascade. We like to rate guns on a few things just to stay consistent. Practicality, accuracy, and coolness factor. This gun, practicality, let's walk through the things we've already talked about. 22-250 practical caliber for what it's intended for, which is varmint control, coyote hunting, and occasionally maybe you want to smack a deer with one. a little underpowered for that, but it'll get the job done, and accurate out to a long distance. This gun specifically rings in at a modest retail of under 900. I bet you can get them for a lot less than that, unless you're watching this 10 years from now. Love that it has the Picatinny rail. Love this rubberized grip, all-weather grip, and gives exceptional grip, unlike some synthetic stocks that are just a rigid plastic and have no, this like rubberized is the way to go. It feels soft and gives you a little bit extra to hold on to, if you know what I mean. Practical, this one is threaded so that if you live in a suppressor friendly state, you're able to run a suppressor. I may add a muzzle brake just to reduce flash, because there really isn't much recoil with 22-250. Bolt operates outstanding. Trigger pull is crisp. I do like the trigger, and I was actually a couple times surprised by it, which is what you want. You don't want to be like yanking on the trigger wondering why it's not going out. This was light, not exceptionally light. The Cerakoting of the barrel and the receiver and the synthetic stock, all weatherproof type design, so that's fantastic for your hunting applications. Bolt action. A bolt action is a practical gun, practical caliber for what you're doing, practical retail for what to get into this sport. And seriously, even if you're already into the sport, this is a value pickup, not like a budget value, but this thing brings a lot to the table as far as the bolt operation is silky smooth. The appearance of the gun itself, it makes it look like a much higher end rifle with the bull barrel that's on this thing. The Picatinny rail is already on it. I've reviewed more expensive guns that didn't even include that, and the Crush Zone recoil pad probably is the overkill for this, but you can put whatever optic you want on it. And practicality score, I'm going to give this thing is as practical as it gets. Single sling posts. They do offer longer guns with double, so you can put a bipod on it, which that would be one upgrade that would be kind of cool to have on this, is to be able to have a sling and a bipod. And I'm not going to put one on the barrel. I think those are stupid. So that's one thing that you could improve on this, or a cheek riser. Practicality score 9, solid 9. This thing is awesome. I talked a lot just now about this gun. I like the gun. I'm mulling this over because it's I think they undersell it when they talk about it being entry level. I really think this thing fits the seasoned hunter more so than the entry level person. It's awesome. Accuracy, I just showed you. We're shooting a half MOA if you're off of a sled. I'm not on a sled, and even this tripod has some wiggle to it, and I am obviously not the most stable person. Even the bench with a bag was hitting very nicely, and I did one shot at the steel, which is backwards, and I don't want to ruin that the Caldwell flashbang that's on it with spalling, or by hitting it by mistake, because it actually flipped around from the last video I did. So hit 150 before I did the final adjustments on this thing, so that's awesome. Love the gun. Accuracy, I'm going to give it a 9.6, so one of the highest. 9.7, 9.6, this is the most accurate thing I've shot here so far in a long time. And this doesn't actually make it easier. Sorry, DNT, the digital zoom sucks compared to optical zoom, but an optical zoom is not going to allow me to shoot at dark. So, or after dark, I mean. So this thing's freaking sick, and it works just fine for hunting distances. I was trying to zoom in a lot for the zeroing shots, just so I could see what the heck was going on where I was at. And maybe I should have zeroed it just a slightly shorter distance. That probably would have been helpful, or maybe use the zoomed out view. So accuracy is awesome. Coolness factor. Now this thing, had it been black and not rubberized, I would be bored out of my mind with this thing. And then you can slap that budget price tag on this thing. Like, this is a great gun. The finish is a little jacked up on the rubberizing where it meets the seam up here. And that's really the only blemish on this thing. Plastic trigger guard, I really don't care for those, but I never got into this. They don't talk about it, but it is a free float barrel. And it's not touching anything inside there, so that's good. Coolness factor. The fact that this thing comes in OD green and other camouflage patterns, that gives it a couple points. Picatinny rail gives it a couple points. Bull barrel gives it a couple points. Threaded, awesome trigger. All those things are cool. Not having a few options to make this thing like super supreme, which proud to put it over the grand. Coolness factor. This is a cool gun. I have to go 7. It's kind of basic. I probably should go less. I mean, looking at it, I almost would have opted for something else, but I really wanted this caliber. Coolness factor, it's middle of the road. Give it +1 for the green, +0.5 for the stock, the barrel and the rubberized grip and the Picatinny rail. Middle of the road, 6.5. I think that's what I already said. I'm gonna leave it there, 6.5. So, CVA Cascade in 22-250. If you guys have anything to ask, say, or have any questions, this video on the DNT, the review of that will be coming up. I would like to say soon. I've got 2 thermals and a night vision scope that I haven't reviewed, and really finding the time's been hard. So those are coming up. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. CVA, what? It does have 2 sling posts. Fudge ripple. Practicality score just got bumped up 1/2, guys. I don't know how I didn't see that. That's embarrassing. If you found this video useful, helpful, or interesting, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Welcome back to Mud Lake Ranch. Tonight we're here with, well, it's not tonight, it's today. 2 minutes so far on this bullshit, dumbass. All right, welcome to the jungle. Hey, we're back. Okay, am I centered? Am I pretty good? Am I about good? Let's get some pictures for the thumbnail. Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Mud Lake Ranch. Today we're here with a CVA Cascade chambered in 22-250.